Hi guys, it is a hot, sticky, miserable day here in the end times of Babylon in South Austin, Texas, where the humidity has fallen from 100% to 99%, and I am just, I feel like Barack Obama in a photo op moment giving a climate change speech. Anywho's, it is Thursday morning, I believe May 14th, 2015, and I have a wedding cake for the end times in the oven, so I'd better get through today's rant, which is going to be labeled the Eco-Catastrophist Joke Book. This is my response to all of those naysayers who act like I, Hambone Littletail, personally, and my fellow eco-catastrophists have no sense of humor. They're claiming that we have lost our sense of humor because we don't think cute cat videos are funny or something. But anyway, I am going to explode the myth right here and right now that eco-catastrophists do not have a sense of humor, and offering you the Eco-Catastrophist Joke Book. And I just wrote this joke book myself last night. Well, there's one joke that I didn't, but I will let you know who did. What do I have falling in my face? Anyway, let's get right into it. You've heard some of these jokes before in previous rants, but this is just kind of how they rolled out of my brain last night. Okay, without further ado, the Eco-Catastrophist Joke Book. What do you call 700 dead Africans at the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea? The answer would be a good start. What do you call a dead orangutan in the middle of a palm oil plantation? Oreo. What is the difference between an environmentalist and a cornucopian? A brain. What is the difference between an environmentalist and an eco-catastrophist? 5 grams of dried psilocybin mushrooms. What is another name for middle-class values? Answer: the 6th mass extinction. What do you call an environmentalist with 4 children? Chris Hedges. What do you call an eco-catastrophist with 5, or is it 6 children? Edward Abbey. What do you call, this is a no-brainer, what do you call a vegan climate activist on a private jet? That, of course, would be Al Gore. Okay. What do you call a dead rhino in China? Viagra. What do you call a dead rhino in Africa? A pack of cigarettes. What do you call a dead elephant in China? An umbrella stand. What do you call a dead elephant in Africa? Rent for a week. What do you call a dead gorilla in China? A throw rug. What do you call a dead gorilla in Africa? Dinner for the whole family. I think I could go on down the list, but moving on to a new line of eco-catastrophist humor. An eco-catastrophist walks into a Whole Foods market because he knows none of their products contain palm oil. Next joke. How many eco-catastrophists does it take to screw in a light bulb? 6. 1 to screw in the light bulb, 5 to remind him how his consumer and lifestyle choice to buy the light bulb is directly responsible for the collapse of planet Earth. What do you call something that is big, fat, white, and eats a planet? A big, fat, white planet eater. What do you call something that is little, skinny, brown, and nibbles a planet? A noble savage, otherwise known as a little, skinny, brown planet nibbler. Okay, now this next joke, I've told this joke before on Humpty Dumpty Tribe. This is going out to my Humpty Dumpty Tribe hero, Fred Eaglesmith, who is coming to town tomorrow night. If you do not know Fred Eaglesmith's music and humor, you need to check him out. So this was a joke he shared a couple of years ago, and as I recall, 2 people got up and walked out of the crowd. Now, Fred is from Canada, by the way. So this is a Canadian eco-catastrophe joke. A baby harp seal walks into a bar. He humps up onto the bar stool, puts his little flippers up on the bar, calls the bartender over. The bartender comes over and looks into the little baby harp seal's liquid black eyes, staring back at him, and says, "What can I get for you, little buddy?" And the baby harp seal says to the bartender, "Anything but a Canadian club on ice." I thought that was that's an example of Fred Eaglesmith's humor, which is why I love the guy. Okay, back to Hambone Littletail's riddles. What do you call a Republican in the White House? A good investment by the fossil fuel industry. What do you call a Democrat in the White House? A good investment by the fossil fuel industry. What is the main difference between Alex Jones and Bill McKibben? About 15 miles per gallon. What's the difference between the U.S. military and frackers? Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott rolls out the Texas State Guard for one, the red carpet for the other. What do you call 3,000 earthquakes in Oklahoma? A good year for the frackers. What do you call 1,000 blood-splattered dead timber wolves? Barack Obama's interpretation of the Endangered Species Act. What do you call 138,000 dolphins and whales with their eardrums blown out of their heads? That would be Barack Obama's environmental legacy. What do you call 138,000 fracking wells on our public lands. That would be Barack Obama's interpretation of the concept of highest and best use. One more. What do you call Shell's invasion of the Arctic Ocean off Alaska? That would be Barack Obama's all of the above energy policy. Okay, enough of Barack Obama. Back to eco-catastrophist. Barack Obama is no eco-catastrophist. He is an eco-catastrophe, not an eco-catastrophist. Anyway, how do you get an eco-catastrophist out of a redwood tree? With a chainsaw, dummy. How do you get through to 6 billion clueless morons in a coma? Pick up your cell phone and call them. How do you think? How do you get a message through to one of the biggest threats to this planet? Send her a Mother's Day card. What is the difference between you and Bill Gates? You would trade places with Bill Gates. What is the difference between Thomas Malthus and the Mayan calendar? Malthus was right. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the biggest planet eater of them all? What is the difference between Hillary Clinton and Ted Cruz? There is no difference between Hillary Clinton and Ted Cruz. What is the difference between 1 almond and 1 ounce of beef? The New York Times gave the punchline to this joke: 105 gallons of water. That is 1 gallon of water for the single almond, 106 gallons for the 1 ounce of beef, according to those eco-catastrophist comedians at the New York Times. What is the difference between Guy McPherson and Larry Flint? Larry Flint's porn has a happy ending. And speaking of endings, one more. What do you call the rise in antibiotic-resistant superbugs ramping up all over planet Earth? Answer: a small ray of hope. There you go. So never let it be said again that us eco-catastrophists have no sense of humor. We're a funny bunch of guys. We're just a barrel of monkeys. And as Bill Hicks would say, I am available for your children's birthday parties. But anyway, I gotta get back to my frack gas burning oven to see if my wedding cake for the end times is done. For this rant, bye guys.